Hello everyone! I am so excited to see you guys. I am excited because today I have a great topic to talk to you about, and it is all thanks to Lady Crone. She gave me a topic, and I will say I enjoyed my research. So, Lady Crone, as she mentioned briefly in her Hot Topics video, she was talking about Anthropocene and let me find it, and Holocene. These two words are referencing geological timekeeping. And so today we're going to talk about geology and about the different times and what time is the Earth in currently. So to begin, how are you, my little crones and my little munchkins and my little chickens? It is great to see you, and I hope you guys are enjoying your day or morning, wherever you guys are when you're viewing this video. So let's just jump right into the topic. So what is geology, to break this down? Well, geology is the study of Earth's history through its physical structure. Now, what do you mean by the physical structure? Well, they use the Earth's layers, and deep in the Earth, how they find fossils, and they find other types of things deep down in the dirt. Well, they can examine rocks, and this tells them different types of periods that was going on geologically by how the rocks erode or what's present in the crust or the rocks in the material there. So this is how they were able to date different times, because they were able to examine Earth's material basically. So to talk about geological time scale, they have 5 different periods that they measure by. An eon, which is 1 billion years. They have an era, which is 100 million years. A period, which is 10 million years. An epoch, which is today's video's topic, which is 3 million years. And an age, they don't have a definite time to describe it, they just say a very long time. So I guess any time that's less than 3 million years. So what is an epoch? An epoch is a time in history or a person's life marked by notable events. For example, the Victorian epoch. The Victorian age over there in Britain, and how Queen Victoria was ruling. That was a specific time period. Well, the specific time period that they're arguing about that we're in today is, are we in the Holocene epoch? Or are we in the Anthrocene epoch? And you're probably wondering, what is the difference between the two? Well, currently they're saying that we are in the Holocene epoch, which is where Earth is being warmed up and the ice is melting and more land is being revealed because this water and glaciers are melting. However, they're suggesting we are transitioning into a new epoch, which is called Anthropocene, and this suggests that humans are having an impact on the Earth's global warming, and that's causing the ice to melt and the Earth to warm up more. So therefore, this is a human effect rather than the Earth itself doing this naturally. So to think of, yes, Lady Crone?
And so I want to add to that. So what is so important about an age is age of Sarah or the age of Abraham or Jacob. Their ages, you can look at it as how long a person lived.
Yes.
Like they had a movie out, The Age of Adeline. So it could also be an age. But what they're talking about when they're looking at these different eons, how it affects us, it's how we affect the Earth and how we change to fit our environment.
Yes.
This is why this is so important. Because the way we think and the way we are, everything changes. So as this Earth changes, our bodies also change to morph into the new age. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes. And also...
could you add on to it so they know that you know that? You know.
Yes, because it reminded me of the conversation we was having about earlier, about how just as they're able to date Earth's rocks and layers, you're able to do that with tree rings. And these tree rings are connected to the human body if you think about it, because I've been talking about how trees relate to the human body and astrology. Yes, Lady
I am
Crone.
so this is the last I'm gonna say. As our bodies have rings of how many years we are. We are like so much like the environment, trees. That's what I'm saying. Because I love that thing about the trees, and when I realize how much we are so much like trees, it's mind boggling at the end of the day. But go
It is
ahead.
very true.
Sorry,
So,
no more interruptions.
yes, so just as we was talking about, you can date how old a tree is by looking at the rings of the tree. This is how they're able to learn about Earth's history, through looking at the rings in the Earth's rocks. So where are we today? Well, the current eon that we're in, which is currently 538 million years in process, is called the phanerozoic. And this is when plant life and more animals are alive. And the era that was in the eon that was before the phanerozoic was the protozoic. And as I will show a picture right here, protozoa they look like animals, but they're not really. They're like sea creatures that are really microscopic elements and cells that work like single cell organisms or multicellular organisms that are so small and microscopic that they had to morph and transform into us humans over centuries. And this is why it took eons for us to reach the phanerozoic, where now the protozoic life forms have now morphed into plants and animals. So the current era that we're in is called the Cenozoic, and that's been lasting for the last 66 million years. And this is dominated by mammals, birds, flying animals, and flowers. So now these plants that were first there are now able to sprout and give life and give buds and seeds. And the previous era that was before this was the Mesozoic era, and this was the time of the dinosaurs. So as you see, we went from big animals and trees to smaller plants and humans with flowers that bud for us humans instead of tall dinosaurs. And in that era, they had a Jurassic period to also bring back to you, where we're showing you how humans and life on Earth has evolved through the history of Earth. And then the current period we in, which has lasted for the last 2.58 million years, is called the Quaternary period. And this is when the glaciers are retreating, meaning that they're melting, and extinction of huge mammals like the woolly mammoth, dinosaurs are going extinct. This is showing you the current period we're in. As I was saying, you see the transition from bigger animals to smaller humans. And the current epoch that we're in, which is debatable, that's been lasting for the last 11,000 years, is the Holocene, which is warmer climate and more land is being shown there, because if the waters are retreating, therefore there's less water in the environment than there was, because the earth is warming up. And what happens to water when you warm it up? It boils, it evaporates, and it disappears and goes up into the atmosphere. And this atmosphere is trapping in the greenhouse gases that's warming up the earth. So therefore, glaciers continue to melt, but also at the same time they're evaporating too fast to keep water in the ocean. So therefore, more land is being exposed. And this is the problem with the carbon dioxide and the CO2 emissions that humans give off through driving and building and manufacturing. So this is why they're debating if we're in the anthrocene, because we're putting too much bad elements into the air that's causing the air and plants to not be able to work fast enough in order to reverse the effects that we're putting into the atmosphere that's causing the earth to warm up more than it should be, because earth has gone through its cycles of warming and cooling, but we're warming it up more than it should be, so it can't return back to its natural cycle. And the current age that we're in, which has lasted for the last 4,000 years, is the Megalayan age, and this is what mega droughts are. And now that I think about it, hearing about droughts and all these forest fires that we're having in California, and it's just a shame to hear forest fires. That's another effect of global warming, because it's not raining as much over there in California, and these hot humid temperatures are causing the trees to burn and set on fire naturally because they're too dry, because they're not getting water. And this is the problem that we're having, is that the earth is getting too hot, and we're not sure, the scientists are not sure if this is just the natural cause of earth or if this is because of humans.
But all at the same time, the government says there's no such thing as global warming. Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, babe.
It's okay. So, what did I notice? Well, the common themes I saw within the current eon, era, period, epoch, and age that we're in is that we're having warmer temperatures, there is more land being exposed, and water is melting, because ice is water, and it's also drying up as it's melting. So therefore, it's not having its cycle is being thrown off. And through these common themes, I believe that we are currently in the Anthropocene era. We are currently in the Anthrocene epoch, and I believe humans do have an effect on the earth, because we are in an era, this is the first time in history that humans are on earth, so therefore we have to take into account what do we contribute to the earth and how do we affect it through our interactions, and what are we doing to the earth, because remember, we are cutting down trees to build more cities and places to live, which is going to take away from trees that are supposed to take the carbon dioxide that we're emitting from our cars and transform it into their nutrients to live. So therefore, they are taking what the earth can't use and use it for themselves. And that's what's the equal balance that keeps the earth cycling. But if we're trying to make more room for us and take away from nature, we're throwing earth's balance off, and therefore earth is struggling to correct the global warming that's happening, and we really need to think about the impact that us human beings have on the earth. So thank you. That is my video today, and I am glad that I got to have a conversation with you guys about geology. And just a little fun fact, just to throw it out there, another way that they study geology is through tectonic plates, because that's how material gets shifted through the earth by the shifting of the material, and that's how they're also able to tell the different time periods that the earth is in, because it's shaped differently depending on which area you're in, and that also affects the way the climate works. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I will see you guys on the brown round. Oh, yes, Lady Crone?
And I also would like to add, this is why we call ourselves the Crone, because we do study the esoteric. Yes, but we want you to be very much aware that everything that we say, even down to reading cards, has to do with science, and that there is a science to everything.
Yes.
And this is what your show is. I speak the esoteric side of it, and you come along and you speak the science side. So this is what we are, a team. This is what this station's about. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to interrupt, but I just felt like I needed to put a plug, and it's like one is the face and one is the back.
Yeah.
We got you covered.
Yep, so like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys again with more science. Mwah. Bye!
That was delicious.